Mountain Bike Mania is brought to you by KHS Bicycles, a full line of bicycles sold in 30 countries. Jensen USA, America's #1 online retailer of bikes and accessories, ODI, the world leader in grip technology, and Angel Fire Bike Park, the top-rated bike park in the Southwest.
Welcome to Mountain Bike Mania. I'm Ross McDonald. Samantha is on assignment this weekend. Today, we're at Mount Hood Skibowl for the 4th race in the NWCup series. This episode will feature some of the fastest riders in the Pacific Northwest, such as Series Point Sleater, Luke Strobel, and Matt Orlando. Let's jump to our course preview, brought to you by Jensen USA. Check out the qualifying segment brought to you by KHS Bicycles.
Go! You got goggles today. Congratulations! Shot.
Yeah, Kent's killing it.
How's the track evolving as the weekend goes?
It's not evolving. It's just getting really blown out. Yeah.
And what's the strategy with that?
Stay smooth and try to stay out of the holes, and try to ride the inside of the turns because the tops are just falling apart. So
finished second in qualies behind Luke Strobel, who's 0.5 up. But I saw him through the finish line. He was pedaling just every bit as hard as he could, and those little stick legs of him. He's like 5'4", I think, right? Maybe 5'5" on a good day, like on his tippy toes. So, we'll let the horses loose on the final and see, what the Thunder Thighs can do.
Give her hell.
Yeah,
All right. Here we are at Skibowl. This is the junior start list in order of how they qualified. We've got David Kahn taking down the top spot from New York, but our first rider will be, who's this, Mikey?
This looks like Austin Lancaster, pretty much as local as you're going to get out of Central Point, Oregon, a little bit south of here.
Yep. I wonder if the dirt's similar. I mean, he's a little bit further south. Mount Hood is like almost at the border of Washington and Oregon.
Definitely. I'm from riding at both places. They are very similar, but Hood being a little taller, I think it might be even a little drier and a little bit, definitely a lot more rocky.
It looks incredibly dusty.
That is probably the dustiest I've ever seen it there, Ross.
How does this, wow, this rock section looks great too.
I believe that's called the pinball section, right? That you come
so,
into that
yeah.
off a fire road going ridiculously fast. Oh, first split time for him.
Yeah, so he's the first rider down, so we don't know if he's up or down or if that's good, but he looks pretty pinned
Real
through
smooth
here.
and consistent. Haven't seen a lot of big mistakes from him. Just kind of keeping his speed, which is really a key here at Skibowl.
Yep, and into the last couple sections. This dirt's really blown out. Watch this corner. I remember riding it this weekend.
Wow, yeah, that is, I've never seen Mount Hood as dusty as it is right there. Pedaling hard all the way to the line, though, 412.
So he's in first, but we'll see how that holds up.
That is going to be a tough time to beat. These courses really long at Skibowl, a lot of elevation change.
Here's someone we're familiar with, Josh Gibb. He's been at all the GRTs riding for the Palmer Project.
Yeah, and actually a Northwest local as well, just outside Seattle in Redmond. Rides a lot with his dad, a good guy.
His dad raced this weekend, too, earlier in the day.
His dad actually grew up racing go-karts, kind of has that racer mentality, and now works as an engineer at a machine shop doing a lot of race parts. So he's got that racer background, and he's definitely transferred
to his son, just pushing the limits on a bike.
Definitely, definitely. Josh really coming to his own in downhill this year as well. He's been a real threat on the little bike. I think he's got the Doothy Hill pump track record for like 3 years running.
So he's very flowy. Is he just getting used to this bike still? Because they just came out with it.
I think he's just getting used to the raw speed and kind of you have to ride downhill a little bit less controlled. And it looks like he's still fighting the bike a little bit here. Although smooth through this section.
Yeah.
Grabbing pedals there. We didn't see Austin grabbing pedals. Sending a big gap.
Yeah, there's some good pump backsides of rocks that you can try and land on and keep your speed up.
Yep. All at the same time, we did see him just run into a pretty big hole there, really compressing his front fork and losing a lot of speed.
Oh!
Saving it right there.
Oh, so the finish line camera's out, but I think that little turn cost him that 1 second.
Just off, almost a full second, 4:13.8.
So since Austin, we've had quite a few more people go down. And got Joe Rager here from Washington.
Another Northwest local.
This is actually the first race we've seen him wearing goggles.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much a necessity with the speed and dust that Skibowl has
definitely
this weekend.
here. Especially if you're going to try and follow a teammate down.
During practice, yeah.
Yeah, you can't see where you're going.
Absolutely.
This section's really steep. You can see them come out into the wide open cannonball part.
Ooh, almost going off track there.
We saw actually someone did in qualifying go flying off the side there.
And this is probably one of the highest speed turns on the track. See him throwing out the rudder real early.
He had to get inside on that turn. I mean, you go too far outside and it gets caught up in the holes.
Oh! I was going to say, looking real good through this top of the pinball, but then losing his exit speed out of the section.
Yeah,
costing him at the split. Into the trees, this last woods. A couple big double lines. He's taking the pedal too and gapping out.
Let's see if he can make up that 1 second there.
Nice and smooth through there, gapping over the holes.
Yeah, it's the last little rocky section, then it's all just powder and dust.
Those pavers are a pretty new addition there at Mount Hood. I remember riding that section a few years back, and it just turned into a Rudy bomb-hold mess.
Nice.
Oh, good time. Not quite enough, though, to unseat Austin. 4:14.
Yep, right behind Josh.
Jason Eiswald, another Washington, younger rider.
He is not wearing knee pads.
Padless, on an Enduro as well. He's riding a 6-inch travel.
In the rear. He has the full downhill suspension in the front, though, right?
Yeah. It is a coil. It's got that Öhlins coil shock in the back, so that will help, but he might be one of our smaller riders and can actually get away with using that little bike to his advantage. He actually looks really fast up top, throwing in pedals there, tucking the insides.
He's on a mission right now.
He is pinned. Wow, just the raw speed right now.
Oh, that's so bumpy.
That looked horribly rough.
Well,
in through the pinball wizard. This is where that little bike might be a little bit of a disadvantage for him, not being able losing a foot.
Yeah, he took his foot off. But
Backpedaling to get his feet in the right spot. That is
he's still up.
Dangerous.
3 seconds.
Wow, he was moving in that top section. You could tell just from the speed.
And he's on flat pedals and like Vans shoes, right?
It looks that way. Oh, sending these gaps, just bottoming out so hard right there.
He's going fast, though.
He is going no regard for his suspension. He says, little bike for what?
Boom. Railed that.
Losing pedals. We were just talking about those slippery Vans shoes.
But 4:07.
That's putting
nuts.
a commanding lead right now.
Well, you can
almost
see that.
5 seconds into Austin.
That's pretty solid.
This is David Kahn out of New York.
So they're on a road trip right now, him and Phil Metz and a couple of their other teammates. 6 weeks.
6 weeks in the Danny Cycles Team RV.
And they're stopping by Oregon. They were just up in Canada racing, I believe.
Yeah, I think Phil had a pretty good result at Silver Star, his pro teammate. And the Kahn boys, both the brothers, really learning, I think, a lot from being on the road and racing all these different places as such young riders. David looking really strong, really consistent here through the top part of the course.
He's only 15, and he has to keep up with the 15-year-olds from California, but doing it a completely different style with all the roots and the rain.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot different in terms of speed and terrain than he's used to growing up riding out on the East Coast.
Let's see if he can hold down that #1 qualifying spot.
Although it doesn't seem to be phasing him too much. Let's see how his time stacks up at the split.
Ooh,
very close, 0.27.
He doesn't look as crazy as Jason, but
Jason had a little bit of trouble down here at the bottom, so wow, he is just staying so smooth, sending that drop so far.
I think following Phil definitely helped. That is, if you can follow someone in this stuff.
In this dust, yeah. Vision is definitely optional if you're trying to follow a rider. Ooh, gapping into that turn and still holding his exit speed, sprinting it hard all the way to the line. A long pedal at the bottom of the Skibowl track.
Here we go. That's
wow.
definitely first. Put on 5 seconds.
In a commanding fashion.
That is pretty nuts.
David Kahn, your winner here in the junior men's
That's
field.
the future for the East Coast downhill right there.
Your leaderboard looks like top 5, Joe Rager, Josh Gibb, Austin Lancaster, Jason Eiswall, and your winner, David Kahn.
Let's check out our bike check. All right, we're here for our bike check with Nate Furby. What are you riding on here?
I've got my Intense 951 Evo, custom extra large, running full E13. That's cranks, chain guide, chain ring, new carbon wheels that they're coming out with pretty soon, hopefully. Pretty much full Fox suspension. Mount Hood's a really good track. It's definitely tested the limits of some riders today.
And so you chose to have kind of like a thicker bite in the middle of your tire. What's the thought process behind
it's
that?
better braking. It's a better braking surface. There's more surface area. Slows you down quick when you need to.
What are you looking forward to on the track?
Big rocks, big compressions, and some blown out turns.
Here's our pro men's start list here at NWCup number 4.
We got the qualifying Luke Strobel on top. He's on a trail bike, I do believe.
Yep, Charlie Sponsel, one of the contenders for the overall right there in the number 2 spot. But first rider we're going to see is Cole Weatherall.
He had a crazy huck at the second Port Angeles round in the Northwest Cup.
Absolutely, yeah. We're kind of used to seeing him be the wild man on track right now.
Yeah, he got a flat in practice. I wonder what he was doing to pop his tires like that.
Up through this top high-speed steep section, Skibowl.
Taking the inside exit line.
Into this high-speed blown-out corner. Let's see how wide open he can hold it. Oh, hitting the big holes on the way in, but actually holding a lot of exit speed.
Yeah, he kept his feet on. That's all is good, right?
Yeah, riding flat pedals, that is a tough thing to do at those speeds. Dropped through the pinball wizard up to split number 1. Let's see what his time is.
What?
2:31. Definitely showing that qualifying time is not where he should be.
That's crazy.
Sneaking in pedals there before these 2 gaps.
I mean, it's better to be going too fast over those rocks, huh?
Well, we saw a big crash in practice from Phil.
Wonder what caused that, really.
Could be just a little bit. Wow, losing that rear wheel, almost missing the turn.
Yeah.
Sprinting to the line. Let's see what his time is, Ross.
That's quick.
4:01:43.
Well, he's in first out of 2.
That's for a second rider down. That is a commanding lead. He's gonna be sitting in the hot seat for a while.
6 seconds on the juniors. Let's see if it holds up. Who's this here?
This is Todd Renwick. He's actually out of Northern California, Sonora, which is not too far from where the national champs are going to be next weekend.
So he's your neighbor, huh?
As close as you're going to get, I think, with the riders here this weekend.
And he's on that new YT bike, right?
Yeah, working with Cam Zink and the new YT Industries program. Rides a lot in Tahoe, and with Cam being right there in Reno, it was a smart fit.
Definitely used to the loose, blown-out conditions, would you say?
I'd say very much so. Mount Hood getting usually a lot more moisture than Tahoe area, but it looks like pretty close to what his home tracks are.
Yep, I believe he didn't have a great qualifying run. That's why we were seeing him earlier on, but we'll see how well he pins it.
Looks like he's holding a real good high line there. Oh, moving rocks. He's another one of our bigger riders. Moving some of those big ones out of the way.
Oh, just a little bit.
Just a little bit up at the split, about half a second.
See him pumping down the back sides of those rocks.
We saw some of the juniors, though, lose about 2 seconds in this lower section of trees.
Taking the right line into the entrance. It's a double tap over rocks as opposed to that big left-hander one.
Absolutely. A big gap here into the last couple tree corners.
Nice little exit
good exit speed. Actually gapping out. The long pedal to the finish.
Woo!
Got him. Put 2 seconds into Cole in the lower part of the track.
That was pretty crazy.
You can watch here just the bike having to fight for traction.
It's pretty rough up there, huh?
Definitely.
Here's Andrew Flashenream. He's from Montana.
Finally, probably just now getting used to being on a bicycle with their winter out there in Montana actually being pretty full of snow, unlike the West Coast.
Yeah, and he's a long-time racer. I believe he's 33 years old and been doing this for quite a while. So let's see how he can
Looks like he's holding real good speed through the steep section.
Yeah, coming out with a vengeance.
Sprinting hard. Wow, that was some of the most furious pedals we've seen through that section, Ross.
Trying to beat these young guns, that's what.
Whoa! Inside line and just drifting all the way through that corner.
That's not great for your exit speed.
But it looks really cool.
Yeah. He's pretty pinned through here.
In through the split. 2:30 the time to beat from Todd. Wow!
Dang.
That exit speed did not worry him at all. 2.5 seconds up.
He is
sneaking in pedals everywhere, showing that he came from the days of downhill racing when you had to sprint for a win. gapping through this lower section.
Just not letting the bike do all the work.
Sprinting to the line. Oh,
is
looking
his chain
down.
come
Looks
off?
like he might have lost.
Oh!
Still into the lead.
Nice.
Lost a little bit of time at the bottom, maybe with that mechanical
Replay
problem.
of that big old
Huge drift, throwing the rudder out.
All right, well, here we got our Angel Fire Athlete of the Week. Let's check out who it is.
Kit!
So, Matt, you did really well here last week at Mount Hood. Do you think you can carry that momentum?
Aiming to do the same, if not better.
What's it going to take to beat Luke?
Man, that is a great question. Finding my inner ninja. Getting away from all my old, like, going for broke style of riding and trying to be smooth for once. That would probably do it.
And Matt's talents don't end on the mountain. If you catch him on a good day, he may spit some rhymes for you.
It loves to fly, something's telling me run, cause I live in the forest and far from the public eye. Feels like a shut, but why does it matter? Distraction, something I hide from. Been alive from the second I noticed there's hope inside that door that I opened. Unknowingly picked that lock by flow and slowly stepped in and closed it.
All right.
Back to our pro footage. The man we just saw, Matt Orlando.
Many skills more than just on a bike. Let's see how he holds it down.
He was a top 10 qualifier. He's going to be hunting for something a bit more than that in finals, I'm sure.
He said he had a little crash, but, I mean, he's had crashes in the other Northwest Cup races and still finished top 5.
Looking real pinned through this top section.
Inside line,
exit line, inside entrance line into the high speed bits.
Oh my God.
Pumping through the high speed bit, not even trying to go passenger. Setting up wide, throwing
Foot
that
out.
rudder out.
Checking out back onto the technical.
Into the pinball. His entrance speed, huge. Making that rear suspension work so hard for him.
He's on flats, right?
He is a flat pedal. Whoa! Narrowly
Almost.
missing that rock.
Exit speed there is great.
Wow.
6 seconds.
6.7 seconds
Almost
up right
7.
now. We are
That's
definitely
nuts.
into our top qualifiers, and it's showing.
Here we go into the blown out section. Hopefully he can hold that lead.
Wow, he is going so fast. He is outrunning our cameraman, Ross.
I mean, we asked him what he thinks it takes to beat Luke. We'll see.
Ooh, losing a little bit of speed, though, on that exit. He's going to have to make up for it in the pedal.
Looks tired. What?
Wow, 10 seconds on Andrew.
That's nuts.
That is no gap. Ooh, almost losing the whole bike on the entrance to that corner.
Crikes.
This is Bob Stenson, originally out of Arizona.
Bob is a very funny guy.
One of the loudest riders and spectators we will ever see on the downhill circuit, I'm sure.
Yeah, if you don't find him racing, you'll see him on the side of the track yelling at everyone else.
One of the most comical hecklers I think we've ever seen as well.
Makes some of our videos pretty good, huh, Mike?
The ones that we can actually show on TV, absolutely.
Yep.
Here he is, showing a lot of good speed and actually having a good qualifier with the last Port Angeles having that big crash into the tree.
Yeah, I can't. Everyone was like, that guy surely must be dead, but here he is, no longer than a month later.
And actually just recovering from shoulder surgery as well before that. So, he's down though,
Well, that'll
a healthy
definitely
amount.
put him in second for now. I mean, Matt was
6 seconds up at the split, but 10 seconds
10
in the
at the bottom.
finish. So I think he's at the third fastest split right now, which
I mean,
is
Bob's
no
going
bad
pretty
thing.
quick.
Actually, a nice little line there, staying out of
outside.
the holes. Nice little scrub into the last corner where we saw Matt lose it.
Yeah, he keeps his speed. He's pumping through.
He's going to sprint hard. 354, that's good enough for second right now.
Sweet.
Bob keeping it smooth. Not something we're used to seeing from him. He's usually one of the wild men, but really good to see him up there with a good qualifier and good final.
Getting it together this year. Here's Jake Grob.
Otherwise known as Cousin Jake. He's probably the smoothest looking rider that we have in the NWCup series. Rides a lot with Luke Strobel, and now actually with Matt Orlando as their teammates.
Yeah, they just put out a little video on Pink Bike. I asked him, whose cousin are you? And he said, well, I'm your cousin. I'm his cousin. I'm everybody's cousin.
So that's where the nickname came from, huh?
I still don't really know where it came from, but it's what it means, I guess.
There's a lot of those nicknames for Northwest Cup riders. Wow, just
that was
kissing
quick.
the outside edge of that berm.
He's just airing it out over some of the rocks.
Going in, wow, almost as fast as we saw Matt entering that section.
Yeah,
Let's
he's
see
not
how
wearing
he stacks
gloves.
up into the split.
5 back?
Second fastest split. Orlando really putting it down. I think that top section from Matt is going to be a tough one to beat.
It's as if he's on like a motorcycle or something.
It just accelerating, using that little bit of flow, as it were, both on the mic and on the bike. Going through this last corner.
Jake does look pretty calculated.
So smooth. Such a good rider to watch.
Nice.
Into second.
Solid.
3:53.05, putting a second into Stinson, but still 5 seconds back from Orlo. That's gonna be that's gonna stand for a while.
Let's see if anyone can get that. Here we got Nate Furby.
Nate's coming out of Central California.
He just checked up on his bike. Let's see if that thing brings him into a podium position.
Nate's always been one of the fastest riders we've seen in practice. He's also one of the younger ones, young pro.
He's only 20, right?
Only 20 years old. Went to the Junior World Champs a few years ago.
Nice.
And kind of been battling back from some injuries. He had a total hand reconstruction after Mont Saint Anne crash last year. Had about 12 pins in his left hand. And so this is his first season back, or first season back from that.
But he trains a lot with his brother, who just got was it a collarbone or AC joint?
He did a total shoulder destruction basically in training in West Virginia. So Furbies are kind of alternating on which one can race and which one can play coach. So.
Well, they need both to run the van.
Second fastest split right now for Nate, though.
Riding pumped down the backside.
Riding really aggressive here. Good top time for him. He's not used to usually these really high speed courses. He likes these lower technical big holes and big rock compressions.
So maybe we'll see him pull back some time on the bottom half here.
He definitely, I don't think he'll be going much slower than that. And he exited that corner better, so we'll see how it comes to the line. 350, pulling some of that time back. Getting close, just
floating
outside.
Over. See that outside line is inches from the cliff.
Just bouncing on the shale.
Well, nice. Here's Kent Billingsley from Montana. See his sunglasses at the top of his hat.
Another one of our Montana riders, probably one of his first few races of the season.
Yeah, been skiing all year, and time to break out the rubber tires.
A lot of riders choosing that inside-to-inside gap line right there in the top steep section. Whoa! Almost losing it there, Ross, in that corner. Slapping the berm and bouncing out. But he is our number 3 qualifier, so we'll see.
He's definitely going to be pretty pinned. Is that one of the new bikes, the new bigger tire size ones?
That looks like the new 650B or 27.5 Da Vinci. Looks to be working well for him. Coming in real... Whoa, almost losing a foot there, it looked like.
Jumping outside onto the almost grass.
Real good speed. Wow, such good... Almost missing the bridge.
Oh, my God.
That's going to be our second fastest split, I think, just in front of Nate.
More out of control than Matt?
I think he is, but for some reason it doesn't look to phase him.
Oh, what?
Wow, he bounced into a hole that sent him nearly off the
This
track.
guy's nuts.
I
love it.
Wow, good exit speed there, gapping out.
He's going to slamming into stuff, see if he makes it
long
some
pedal.
time.
Whoa, into second.
By just a hair.
0.3 of a second behind Orlando.
He made up like 3 or 4 seconds
He
in the
made
bottom.
up 3.5 seconds in the bottom of that track. That is amazing. Here is Charlie Sponsel, contender for the overall here in the NWCup. Double dutying it always, riding enduro and downhill this year on the Gravity Tour.
He had a great qualifier putting him in second, and I know he said in qualifying he's trying to get Luke and unleash his thunder thighs.
Chaz, probably more easily defined as chicken leg than thunder thigh, but maybe that's just the height.
Yeah, he's like 6'3".
Yeah, he's at least 6'3". Putting in those pedals everywhere. A little bit slower on that entrance, though, to the high speed berm. Let's see if that affects him at the split.
I think he knew how sketchy it was. I mean, seeing everyone else go through.
Looking very calculated, though, through pinball, unlike we saw Kent just a moment ago. Very smooth. Yeah, every rock exactly knows where it is.
Oh, look at him leaning around that
0.11. He's up at the split.
Nice.
First one to go faster at the top half than Matt.
That's pretty funny because they look completely different.
Completely different style. And it seems to be working for Chaz,
Charlie.
though.
Got a last couple turns here.
Let's see how he goes through this last berm. Setting up a little slower.
Oh, no!
Disaster!
Charlie, no! Get
Disaster
up.
in that last loose berm. We've seen it almost bite a few riders today, but no one has been fully taken out until Charlie.
And he was on...
And still ran
4
a
seconds
352.
He must have been flying.
Wow, he with a full dismount, he must have had at least a couple seconds to work with there.
I'm sure he was thinking, is the bike okay? Well, here we go. Our other athlete of the week right before our top qualifier. I'm sure it's going to be, yep.
Looks like the man, Luke Strobel.
halfway through the Northwest Cup Series. You're in the lead. How's it going so far for you this year?
It's going great. I'm having fun, and the races have been going pretty good, and yeah, looking forward to another one tomorrow.
What's special and what's different about riding in the Pacific Northwest?
Well, we got mountains and really good dirt, and I just grew up riding here, so it's just something
Do you like the dusty kind of dirt or the thick, wet dirt?
Rich dirt is what I don't know. I like all dirt, man.
Good.
As long as it's downhill, it's fun for me.
What does mountain biking mean to you?
Well, I guess it's my life, and it's given me everything in my life, so.
Man, we just saw riding is that a 5-inch travel 29er that he's on?
It's a prototype. He was saying in the pits, I mean, he said it was really good for practice and qualifying, but the finals, it's going to look pretty rough. He did a track walk and said the track was completely blown out.
That's amazing. If anybody has the skill to do it in this type of terrain, it's going to be Luke, growing up racing in all these Northwest Cups.
And yeah, we heard the question, what kind of dirt do you like? He's like, I don't know, as long as it's downhill, it's great. So.
Wow.
Nice.
Just super inside, letting it drift the whole way.
That's what he said he needed to do. Execution
Not slowing
on point.
down, though, for this technical section. This is where we see that bike might be a little disadvantaged, and it
I don't
doesn't
know.
seem to be.
He's rolling quick.
He is moving real fast,
Wow.
just tucking, but he's
Just a
down
little
in
bit
split
back.
number 1.
Just a little.
Just a hair. Although Chaz is our fastest split going down in the lower section, so let's see if he can reel back that time and beat Orlando, who's sitting on top right now.
Bouncing around here. Last couple turns.
Scrubbing off that roller. Whoa!
Dabbing a foot, but yeah.
Having Charlie go through there, he may have actually damaged the berm. So Luke across line. Wow!
Nice. 3 seconds.
3:45. He put 3 seconds
In the
on
bottom
a trail
half.
bike on the most technical part of the track.
That's insane. That will wrap that up for Skibowl. Luke Strobel is your winner.
There's your top 10 NWCup number 4.
We got Charlie in 5th, Nate Furby in 4th, Kent Billingsley in 3rd, and of course Matt Orlando in 2nd. Samantha will be back next week. For all the Mountain Bike Mania crew and our sponsors, I'm Ross McDonald. We'll see you next week at USA Cycling's National Championships at Mammoth Mountain, California.
Mountain Bike Mania has been brought to you by KHS Bicycles, a full line of bicycles sold in 30 countries. Jensen USA, America's #1 online retailer of bikes and accessories, ODI, the world leader in grip technology, and Angel Fire Bike Park, the top-rated bike park in the Southwest.